Hi, this is Mr. Nazarian. Our learning objective today: I can read, write, and compare decimals to the thousandths, 5th grade standard, NBT 3. Alright, so today we're going to look at base 10 blocks as representations of numbers with decimals. So, and we're going to use these in class, and I did the best that I could on drawing some representations of what this is going to look like. There are those yellow base 10 blocks that sometimes we use. I don't know if you used them before with place value. So today, the big old huge cube is going to represent one whole. So this funny looking contraption here is going to represent one whole, and then the slices, the flats, are going to represent 1/10 because 10 of these together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, would give us this one whole cube. And then the longs, or these rods or sticks, are going to represent 1/100th because 100 of these together, if I laid them down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, would make one of these, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It'd take 100 of them to make up one whole of this big old huge guy here. And each of these little squares here, little tiny cubes that makes up this big huge cube, is 1/1000th, because it would take 1,000 of them to make up the one whole big huge cube. Okay, so now that we know what each of those represent, we are going to take a look at some collections here and be able to write them as a number with decimals. Okay, so if I look at this, what do I see? So I see this big guy here that represents one whole. I see one of these represents 1/100th, or I'm sorry, 1/10th, and then 3 of these sticks here that represent 1/100th, and 4 of these little itty bitties that represent, each of them represent 1/1000th, so we've got 4 thousandths here. So how can we write that? We're going to write that as, okay, so remember we have one whole, so that comes immediately to the left of the decimal point. And then this guy represents the tenths, which is immediately to the right of the decimal point. So we have one of those. And then the hundredths places after that. Remember these rods here represent hundredths, so we have 3 of those. And then the itty bitties represent the thousandths, which is the third place after the decimal point. That's the thousandths, and we have 4 of those. So what this collection represents is 1.134. It can also be read as 1 and we'll talk more about this, but this decimal point, anytime that we're reading decimal, it can be read as and, so the decimal point is and. So 1 and 134 thousandths. So when we're reading decimals, you read the number as you see it. So just kind of like as you normally would read this number, 134. But then you have to give it a last name. It's the place value of the last digit that you've said. So the 4 is in the thousands. So it's 134 thousandths. And everything to the left, remember, is whole numbers. So we have a 1. And that's all that we have for a whole number. Everything else is a fractional part. So it's read as 1 and 134 thousandths. We'll do one more of these. So as we look at this, we can see that there is no one whole. There's no big, huge monster of a piece there. So as we write this, we know that there's 0 whole numbers, right? And now there's going to be a fractional part. So we have 1, 2, 3 of the tenths, right? So we have 3 in the tenths place. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the, these are hundredths, remember? So in 6 hundredths. And then in the thousands place, the third place over after the decimal point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the thousands place. So the number that these represent is 0 and 367 thousandths, or 0.367. But we're going to practice reading these that way, where we'll say it's 0 and 367 thousandths. Okay, we'll work on that tomorrow. See you then.